But it's live.
Like all together.
Okay, perfect. You guys are good too?
Sorry, can I get more? Sorry. Thank you. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is our presentation called Share, Inspire, and Empower. My name is Chloe.
My name is Natalia. My name is Susan. My name is JC.
My name is Al.
We are from the International School of Curacao, and in this conference and presentation, let's inspire one another. So, at first, we're going to play a little game.
So first, what? This is fine.
This is this is fun, right? At first, can you please introduce yourself and what you like?
Well, with the ball in your name.
No, just, okay.
Say your name.
your
You can
name.
pass it around, but not too hard.
Just a little game just to get everyone comfy, and then everyone will know each other.
I'm Marcelo and I like soccer.
Okay,
I'm Ignacio and I like sports.
I'm Guillermo and I like this.
Subscriber, I like music.
My name is Diego and I like tennis.
I'm Javier and I like music.
I'm Fabio and I like gym conference.
I'm Luis and I like fun.
I'm Daniela and I like food.
I'm Juanita and I like dancing.
I'm Noemi and I like Netflix. Same, dude, same.
I'm Karina and I like tennis. I'm Belen and I like art.
I'm Bella and I like sport.
I'm Adelisa and I like coffee.
I'm Paulina and I like coffee.
Oh, my name is Jeff and I like tennis. Okay, just give everyone pay attention to each other. We're gonna pass the ball to someone randomly, but before we do that, we have to say the name of the person. Alright? So, example, Nati.
Juanita.
Noemi. You can't pass it to your own school.
Valeria.
Try to pass it to this side, okay?
Marcelo.
Luis.
Ignacio. Annelies.
Don't hit the computer, please. Take your time. You have all day.
Not really. Not really.
No sarcasm. Sarcasm. It's okay. We have all day.
Thank you.
Sebastián.
Jeff.
Oh my God! What are your names? Pass to her. You can pass to one of us as well. No,
yeah.
we forgot your name. Susan. Oh, I forgot.
No, not me.
Okay,
Chloe.
Can I tell
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Diego. Diego, por allá no sé cuál es Diego.
Alguien se llama Diego. Yeah.
So, okay, I guess that.
That was the end of the
Yeah.
game. Good job,
Sorry.
Brandon. Great. So that's about 7 minutes. That's fine.
So now we're gonna continue. Now we're gonna start with the presentation. So we come from Curacao, and first I'd like to give you basic information about the island. So one of the sayings that we say on the island is "Tu dia é um dulce dia de Curacao." It means every day is a good day on Curacao. So basically, Curacao is an independent island under the Netherlands, and we are known all over the world as the ABC Islands, which stands for Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. So since January 1st, 2016, there was a statistic that went out, and it showed that there are 158,986 citizens living here. The currency that we use on the island is the Netherlands Antilles Guilders, AMG basically, and it is about 1.82 to a dollar. The four most spoken languages on the island is Papiamentu, which originated from the island, Dutch, Spanish, and English. So there are two islands, Curacao and Klein Curacao. On the flag, you can see that there's the bottom. The bottom blue stands for the ocean. The yellow in the middle stands for the bright sun. The blue on top stands for the sky. The big star stands for Curacao, and the small star stands for Klein Curacao. So Curacao's most popular animal is the iguana. It's like it's a big green lizard with a really long tail, and it can bite you. But it likes friendly people and tourists. So Curacao is known for its beautiful beaches, its highest point, Christoffel Bear, its delicious food, and its friendly people. So here's a short video about Curacao.
Mi país, tan lugar chiquito, una historia lleva nombre bien de mi isla y el país presente, un vista patente y parte mi país, un curso de pobreza, hasta tu maleza, y en el cotidiano nos tiene. La isla impresionante, un pueblo elegante, mi padre, y grande que mi amor me del futuro. Y nos acompaña manifesta per Dios, Padre Señor, si ti ci ayudamos, ci strecciamo y cuidado que tanto.
Yeah, that basically this is a short video, and basically it says that it's our island, and it says a few things about Curacao and Bakuman, our language. So Curacao's education. On the island Curacao, there's two English medium schools, which are International School of Curacao, which we go to, and CAPS. And the rest are basically Dutch medium schools. The Dutch medium schools don't follow the same system as we do. There, after sixth grade, they get put into a different school depending on their performance during the academic years. The Dutch schools also have to provide for their own materials, meaning textbook, workbook, and etc.
I see gym. So our gym group was formed in 2012. It's been around for 5 years. I've only recently joined gym, like I joined last year, and we've executed many projects. So these are some of the biggest projects that we have executed: the shopping experience, Casa Bonita, and Food Drive. We've also hosted our own local gin conference. We've also sponsored education. So basically, the Casa Manita project was a project where we baked cookies and cupcakes, and we brought them to a local orphanage to feed the less fortunate kids. And it was really like gratifying to see the smiles on the faces of the fortunate kids. For the animal food drive project, what we did was we went to a local supermarket known as Goisco, and we set up two stations, one inside Goisco, one outside Goisco. And the local animal shelter here needs special like items, so they gave us a list of required items. And normally people just bring animal food that they bring from home, and they just donate it to the animal shelter. But what we needed was we needed special items that the animal shelter needed. So so they could buy the items in Guesco, and then they would bring it outside and drop it off at the station. The animal shelter would come pick it up. The shopping experience was a project where we normally clothes drives are just people organizing clothes and donating it to local orphanages. But we wanted to do something different, so we decided to set up a shopping experience. We organized we got clothes from all over the school, and we set them up in the gym. So it's kind of like a mall for the kids, and we let them come and pick up their own clothes. The gym conference is one of our biggest projects this year. We wanted to organize our own local gym conference, and after being to two international gym conferences, this being our third, we went to one conference in Santo Domingo and one in Rio. It's our third in Panama. And yeah, we really want to spread the idea of gin on Curacao because we're the only school on Curacao that does gin. So we decided to host our own gym.
So our goals as Gen ambassadors, when making a conference, is to create a platform where the youth can share ideas, interact, and inspire one another, become independent leaders, create awareness for global and local issues, and to encourage others to start a Gen group in their own schools.
Since our other gym members attended the other conference, we decided to host our own gym conference in our island. And we first contacted local schools and club services around the island. And then we invited prominent female speakers who are change makers around the island. So we invited Mr. Brower, who is the president of Green Force Organization, and Ms. Rory Olifant, who is the president of the Ronald McDonald's Charity House. And we gave them the theme both for the conference. So for Mr. Bauer, we gave the theme of plastic pollution, and for Ms. O'Rourke, we gave the theme of youth empowerment. We also had NGOs, so local NGOs, non-governmental organizations, were also invited to represent their cause. Some NGOs were Cura Bled or Curacao Cares, and Cura Restoration Group, and Green Force. We also promoted the event via social media, so we promoted the event on our school's website and our GEN Facebook page. And our GEN students were preparing for the Global Villages presentations, and then we started soon on Friday.
After the first stages, as she said, you have to start preparing the days and the time for the conference. The day of the conference should be on a day where most of the attendees are available, for example, in the weekends. Our conference was hosted on Saturday because that's when most of them were available, and the Gen students were also free on that day. And the time should not be too late or too early because some of the students that attended had other work to do, and so we couldn't let them stay for too long. We also had our own global villages. Each global village had their own rooms, and the Gen members presented an introduction to Gen and more.
For each global village, we had like the 20 issues. So for each global village, we had 5 different issues for each one. So we had 3, and then we made the students, the attendees, from each issue they chose one, and then they came up with solutions, sustainable solutions, and So we have a small video of our recent conference. So, how can we make our project sustainable? What is sustainability? As you know from our global villages yesterday, you know what sustainability is, right? Okay, nice answers. In our opinion, sustainability means that our project not only lasts in the present, but continues into the future. Talking about that, sustainability has major problems because we have to make our project last in the future. And of course, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? Then, but then, that in GIN, IC GIN, we made our project for the last 5 years sustainable. And as my fellow teammates mentioned before, the clothing drive, we did it 3 times and will be our 4th time again in May. And we did the CASA meet 4 times and GIN conference 2 times. And the latest one was 4 weeks ago. This was some pictures, as you can see. But during the conference, we had some major problems and challenges we faced, and challenges. And what was those the challenges? One was finding sponsors. Since Curacao was very small, we had hard time finding sponsors to help our project. 2, meetings. Since our GIN was made of high school and middle school, it was hard for us to have a date where we can all meet, rehearse, and talk about our conference. 3, getting people to the conference, advertise. Advertising, our teachers contacted the local school, and people come and they came to our conference, and we advertised it using social media as well. 2, finding keynote speakers and NGOs to come to the conference. As my fellow teammate mentioned before, we had a bunch of NGOs and keynote speakers to come. And it was kind of hard because they all had their own jobs and work to do, but we were lucky enough to have those people come to our conference. And some people didn't show up to the conference. They canceled it last minute. We don't know why, but they just did. A lot of people were not on time. So we had to reschedule our plans a bit. So we had to skip some of the breaks and games.
So these are some tips that we are giving you guys if you guys want to start your own
local team conference?
The first step is food. So there should always be a lunch or break so the attendees could have so the attendees could eat or have a drink. And keep in mind that some of them may be vegetarian or vegan. So what we did is we made up a sign-up sheet and a Google Doc. So we put on Facebook, and the attendees could put their name if they were vegan or vegetarian, so we know how much vegan or vegetarian food we could order.
2. If attendees try to speak much during a presentation or icebreakers, always try to include them and always try to encourage them to speak up, so pick on them. And also always have a way to keep the attendees engaged so they don't lose interest in your presentations or icebreakers.
If we want to change things, we must first change ourselves. If we want to play, if we want to change the world, we must first show up on the field this way. This is a quote that we found really inspiring for this project, and I feel like it really matches the theme of this project.
Thank you for coming to our presentation. I hope we inspired you and
Any questions?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes, did you hold the conference in English or in Tagalog?
English.
English.
Yeah. So it was